Hey, boys and girls. Welcome to MC Big Boy's Java games. We're going to start off with Tic Tac Toe, and we're going to do a console game to begin with. And the reason I'm doing this is we kind of did, well, sort of, a Tic Tac Toe in week 10. Some of you may remember it, some of you may not. So, what I want to do is I'm going to demonstrate my Tic Tac Toe game. And the way I like to do this, guys, is show you in the beginning what you're building. So you can actually see what our output's going to look like, and then we'll build the game. And so we're going to do a demo of the game. We're going to do the game board and a little bit of game setup in this video, and then I'll make the next video with the next parts of the game. So let's get to the demo. And as you can see, I've already got it running here. And do you want to be X or O? So I'm giving the user a choice. And so we'll do X. And then now let's see who goes first. So we're going to flip. So let's do heads. And it looks like I got to go first. So it's asking me what square do I want. And so this is, as you can see, I've got 1 through 9 we can input. And let's do 5. So let's do 5. And so this is round 1. So round 2, the computer picked, actually I guess he picked down here. Okay, so yeah, he picked right here. So he picked number 2. So I'm going to pick 1. All right, and so he did not block me. I got lucky this time. So I was able to actually win if I do 9. Now, let's play again. So I'm going to be 1. I'm going to do 1 again. And he went first this time, it looks like. And I see that I have a bug already. I see that I did not correct something because it is saying round 6 and round 7. So this means this is not going to actually work. So I do have a little bug here. But what I was trying to get to show you is sometimes, yeah, see, this is no winner, so I got a bug. But what I really wanted to show you is what the game layout's going to be, how it's going to run. So we were able to see that. So let's go and let's bring up week 10 of our Kenzine Academy assignment. And in the supplemental, we had this, I guess you want to call it, I don't know, they called it board. What we were supposed to be doing is learning two-dimensional arrays. And so this is what we did. And only that we didn't actually make a game out of it. We printed the board. I think, in fact, if you look at it, all these are grayed out, so we didn't even do anything with them. The only one that was this one is the only one that actually got tested that we modified. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy. I want to copy this file, and then let's start a whole new Java project. And I've already got a folder set up called Java Games, and so we're just going to do, we'll do tick, and no underscores, so we'll do tac, and then we will do the old toe here. And so, and I'm leaving all the same, and I'm going to do this window. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to right click where our thing is here, and I'm going to paste. Okay. And so now if we come down and open this up, we should have a main. And why didn't it paste it in there? I said paste, people. Why didn't it paste it in there? Well, I'm going to have to go get it. Well, I could do this. Maybe because I had it closed down. So I can come over here and I can close this down. And we can go over here and I can say copy that. And I come over here and say, now we're not going to need it. We're actually not going to use it. Oh, there it goes. Now it's copied. Okay, perfect. So, and I want to take the one that I've already done and throw it over here. All right, so what I want to do though is I want to go to main, and I want to show you what this board looks like and the reason that I didn't want to do it this way. So it's called, and then we're just going to do AB equals new AB board, and then we're just going to do AB, and then we're going to do print board. So the reason I want to do this is I want to show you that if we run this, okay, there it goes. So all it did was print out 9 underscores. To me, that's not a tic-tac-toe board. I like what you saw in the demo. So let's fix that. So let's make that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. Let's get rid of this. We're not going to use it. We can delete that class if you want to. We're not going to use it. We're going to do everything in one class. Okay. So let's do a output. And there's going to be 3 rows. But what do we want to do? So we're going to do a 1, 2, 3, because I want in the middle to be our letter. So I'm going to do 3, and now I went and I will put a link in the videos to this ASCII character map here, or the characters of ASCII. Now I know how to do a trick in Windows. I don't know exactly how to do it in Apple or Macs. So, but we can do this. We can highlight this, come in here, highlight it, if I can highlight it, and then just copy, and then we should be able to come back over here, and we want to put that right there, and then 1, 2, 3, and we'll do it again. So there should be 3 spaces in there. So now we have our first line of our board. So now let's go and let's go to the map again. And this time what we want is, we want the, where is it at here? Here it is right here. We want this character. So it's 205. And we're going to copy this. And so we're going to come over here and we're going to build this. So 1, 2, 3, and it looks like I grabbed a space a while ago. So we're just going to do it like this. And now though, we need to go over here and we need to go back to our ASCII table and we need to get the cross. And we want which is right here. So I want just that. Oh, if I could do it, my highlights not so. Everybody's gonna be in my video here, it looks like, but I don't really care. Okay, so there we go. And so now we have all the pieces that we need. So what we can actually do is just grab this, copy this, and then paste it, and then we can just grab the 3 blank lines, copy that, and then do like that. Now we can take the top line, copy that, put it here, and then copy the bar. In fact, what we could actually do is just do this. Let's just copy these 2 at the same time. And so now, and if we print this out, if we run this, we're going to get this kind of nice looking. There we go. So that's going to be our tic-tac-toe board. Okay, but we need to make it so that it is a little bit more easier to print and to insert our things, where our X's and O's are going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to do string builder. I don't know if you guys remember string builder way back when we did that. So we're going to do string builder, and I'm just really getting high definition on these verbs here, or these variables. And so what we're going to do is let's just start. So what we're going to do is we just do SB append, and the first one we want is going to be a space, and that's all we're going to put there. Now what we're going to do is, now we're going to do append, and this time what we want to do is the number 1, and then we want another space or so. So we can do, we're just going to keep building this. And so this time what we want is really, if we look down here, we want a space, the bar, and another space. So let's just copy that. So we're going to print that up there. And then we're going to, so now let's put our, I keep forgetting to do this, put number 2. And so now that we have number 2, we can actually, well, look, we already have this. So let's just copy these 2 actually. So we're going to copy those 2, go down 1. And so now we'll make this 3. Okay. Now we need to add a new line return. So we just built the first part. So let's just do a /n. That'll give us a line feed. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to do our bars going across. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here and we're just gonna grab the whole thing right there. For my mouse, for some reason my hand and mouse don't work right now. And so we're gonna come up here and we're gonna put that in there. And then we're gonna go back 1 and we're gonna just do our /n for new line. And so we'll do that on 1 line. Now what we could do is we can go up here and we can just grab that. In fact, actually, let's do this. Let's just grab all of that, copy that, and then we're going to paste it. And then we're going to, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make this 4, this 5, this 6. Now, so all we really need to do is grab these here, this last set, and then so this will be 7, 8, and 9. So 7, 8, and 9. So let's print it out. So we're just going to do, and it's going to print SB. So let's run it and make sure that we didn't. So now if you look at this, we have our board and we have placement numbers where you're going to input the different numbers. Now let's talk about this as well. What we're wanting to do here is, if we did, if we go back over here to the board, you notice that it was a 2-dimensional array. So if we look at our squares, so number 1 would be 0, 0. Then this would be 0, 1, 0, 2. So the 5 here would actually be 1, 1. Well, nobody in their right mind is going to want to input coordinates. So we're going to have them input numbers. So this got me to thinking, and so how am I going to set up my data? What am I going to do? So let's go work on that in this video. So first, let's do some game setup. First thing I want to do is we can get rid of this board down here. We don't need that. We've now converted it to this. So let's make a method here, and we're just going to do public void. It's not going to return anything, and we're just going to do display board. We're not going to pass it anything. We don't need to pass it anything. And let's just cut all this stuff right here. Cut it right out of here, and let's put it into our display board. Now, if we come up here and we try to add display board, you notice it doesn't give it to us. And the reason why is because main is a static method, and this is a non-static method. You can't put, now if I was to come in here and put static, and now I could come up here, if I put display board, there it is. I didn't want to do that. And which is what we did through all the class so far. That's what we did when we did this. Next thing is, I want to come up here and I'm going to refactor this, and I'm going to call this game. And if you notice, when I refactored it, it also refactored my file name, but we still have to have this main right here. So what we're going to do though is we're going to come up above main and let's make a constructor, and we're just going to use the generator. I just want a constructor. It's not going to do a whole lot, but what we can do is, now that we have this, we can actually call our plain Jane method without a static. So what we have to do here to get to call the method is this. We're going to do game, and we're going to call it game, is going to equal new game. And so we can take this extra space out right here, and we can roll this up. We don't care about this anymore. We won't be using main anymore. And so now if we run the game, we should still get our board printed. And we did. No problems, no errors. So perfect. So that's what we wanted to do. Okay, so we have done some game setup. We have got our board. In the next video, let's see, what time are we at? We're at 15 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing in this episode. Let's set up our data structure. And so when I originally made my game, I was thinking about leaving this as a two-dimensional, multi-dimensional array. It's easy to figure out where everything's at. And then I figured out, well, wait a minute, how am I going to get the user to input data? And then I decided, well, I could make a lookup table. So if they type in 1, then it knows that 1 is equal to coordinates 0, 0. And then as I got to building this, I decided I don't even need to do that. So, well, we're going to come up above our game here. We're going to do a public. And hey, do y'all guys remember hash maps? So we're going to do a hash map. And we're just going to call this square. Hopefully I'm spelling this right. And then I'm going to come down into my constructor and let's initialize. So we're going to do this square, and it's going to be equal to a new hash map. And that's all we need to do. Now, we need to fill in the data. And so the reason I'm using a hash map is I can make an instant lookup table. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. We're going to go below our main here, because this is where we're going to put everything. And let's make a new method. And this one's going to call it, we're going to call it gen square data. And so we're not going to pass it anything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a for loop. I don't know, I like mine next to it. I don't know why. And so we're just going to use the standard, except this time we're going to do 1, and it's not a comma. Okay, so it's going to be I is less than, we want 9 squares, so we'll do less than 10, right? And so we're going to do I plus plus. And so now we're going to come down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our square and we're going to generate this. So we are going to do the put. And so we're going to put I. And now we need a string. So we're going to take string and do value of I. And this will actually load our hash map. And so we should get 9, 1 through 9. So now we come up here to our constructor. And so now we're going to call the gen square data. So now that we have the data, we've created the data. Let's go to our display board and let's make it so that we can actually insert the data into our board. This is why we used a hash map, because I'm going to come in here now and I'm going to do square and I'm going to do the get 1, and that's all I have to do. And so I'm just going to copy this, and so that's going to return our value. Right now we have digits in it, but eventually it will have X's and O's in it. Oh, excuse me. I had to sneeze. And so, whoops, I didn't get it all out there. So this is going to be 3. And so we're just going to keep going here, and we'll just paste these in here. So 4. And see, before we had this hard-coded, now we're programmatically setting up our game board so that we can change the hash map and then just call to display, and this will actually insert our data or our what is in the hash map into the board. So as we start playing, and we will put the, whoops, helps if I do that first. And it's not a 4, it's an 8. Okay. All right, so now we're going to come in here, and we're going to do 9. Now, let's test this out. Let's run the game again. Make sure that we haven't broke anything yet. So now, we got exactly what we wanted. So now we have our board. It's programmatically going to put in these values based on our hash map. All right, guys, I'm going to cut the video right here, and then I will just make a new title screen, and then we will start up, and then we will keep going. So if you're following along, you have two choices here. You can try to make the rest of the game yourself. I've got it set up here. Or you can just follow along and program along. Either way is fine. Good luck.